Hey, hi folks. So today we are going to discuss Leetcode problem number 9, which is called palindrome number. So in this problem, we'll be given an integer x in the input, and we have to return true if the number is palindrome. Otherwise, we have to return false. So it's simple, straightforward question. But there are some edge cases in this where we shouldn't miss. One is when we are dealing with the negative numbers, which is luckily mentioned in this example 2. But not every time there will be edge cases mentioned in the examples, and also, like, in interviews they don't give you any inputs or stuff like that. But yeah, in this case we like to have this example, so just to find that, okay, if there is any negative number, as you can see, the output is false, because if you reverse this negative number, it's 1 to 1 minus, right, from right to left, if you reverse it, which is not exactly the same as the given input integer, so that's why we return false. And also, talking about the negative numbers, the next thing that comes in our mind is 0, right? For 0, it's just it's a palindrome, right? Like, there's only one digit, and whether you go from left to right or right to left, it's always 0, so it's true. Okay, and now we have to write code for positive numbers, so that's what we're going to deal with this now, and let's see how we're going to think about it. So when I was thinking about this problem, one approach that came to my mind was, okay, so I just don't want to go by the general route, which is like, okay, if there is one number 1 to 1, I divide this by 10 every time, and I collect the remainder, and let's just say, like, this is x, and when I first divide this by 10, the remainder is 1, and I'll you take it in y, and next time when I divide this with 10 again, this time it will be 12, so when I divide this with 10 again and get the remainder will be 2, so I'll just multiply this with 10 and add the 2 here, which is 12 here now, and, like, this will turn into 1, and then I'll divide it by 10 again and find the remainder, which is just 1, and now I'll multiply by 10 and then add this 1 here, which will get us 121, and finally I'll equate both these values, the initial 121 with the resultant value, and if these both are equal, then I'll just return true, otherwise I'll return false. So that was one approach that we can solve with, and then there is another approach that I tried, and I was able to pass all the test cases in this problem, and which is what we're going to look into in the next 5 minutes. So the second approach that I thought of was, okay, if I have, let's just say, 1 to 1, why don't I just convert it into a string, which will give me 1 to 1, and I'll if it's based on whether it's a even number, even sized integer or odd sized integer, which is like, in this case, it's the length of the string is 3, right? So it's an odd sized integer, so we can completely remove the middlemost part, and we can just equate these two things. Of course, we have to reverse this part and equate it, since it's a palindrome. If these both are equal, we'll return true. Otherwise we'll just return false. Let me take another example and give you some more clarity. Let's just say it's 1 to 3 to 1. Then what we are going to do is, if it's an odd length number, which in this case it's 5, right? The length of this string is 5. Let me get the double quotes here ready so that you guys don't get confused. So in this case, I'll just cut this number string by half, and I'll take one part, which is this one. Let's just say okay, so we'll just take this part and we'll reverse this, which is nothing but 12, and here we'll just take this number as is, and we'll just see if these two strings match. Okay, if that's the case, we'll just return true. Okay, otherwise we'll just return false. Okay, now you might ask me, okay, what about integers with even length if we convert them to string? What I mean is 1 to 1, let's say. If this is the case, we still cut this number or string by half, and we still do the same thing. Okay, what we do is we'll just reverse the second half of the string, which will become 1 2, and we'll just equate whether it's equal to the first half of the string or not. So based on this thing, we'll just return true or false. If these both are true, we'll just return true, otherwise we'll just return false. Okay, so that's simple and straightforward solution, and the time complexity is going to be order of n, because we have to just traverse through the entire string, not traversing, but like we are using internal string implementations, but that will take order of n time, and the space complexity is going to be order of n again, n being the length of the string that we are going to obtain, which in this case it's 3, 1 2 and 3, the length of this integer. So yeah, both time and space complexities are going to be order of n in this case. So yeah, this is the problem that we are going to write code for. So yep, where is this? Okay, so as we're discussing, we'll just start off with taking the input integer, which is let's call it string x, and we'll convert the integer input and into a string, which is in Python, it's str is the inbuilt function, and when you do str of x, it will convert into a string which contains the same integer, right? And now we'll take the size variable, which is equals to length of string underscore x, okay, which will give us the size. Let me yeah, increase the font size now. So, and once this is done, we'll see if size percentile 2 is equals to 0, which is if the length of that string is even number, then we are going to cut that into half, as we have discussed, right? Like, which is this place, right? So that's what we're going to do. We'll just return, okay, let me just take it one step at a time, which is nothing but string of x, and we are cutting it into length from 0th index to size integer division by 2, which will give us, like, if the length is 4, it will return us 2. Okay, if the length is 5, it will still return us 2. Okay, which is double equals to string underscore x from size by 2 to end of the string, and we'll need to reverse this entire second half of the string, right? Like, now, as we were discussing here, let me just So as we were discussing here, we are just trying to reverse the string, which will make it into 1 2, and then we are going to equate these two parts, right? So that's what we are going to do. We are just reversing this. So basically this semicolon semicolon minus 1 will essentially reverse the string. Okay, so this is what we are going to get, which is like, okay, whether these two strings are equal or not, which is essentially going to give us either true or false, and then that's what we are going to return here. Okay, and same goes the case if it's not a string of even length, which is like if the string is of odd length, 1 2 1 3 5 7, whatever it is, then we are just going to return from string underscore x of 0 to size divided by 2 plus 1. Okay, which is nothing but, if it's 1 2 3, then we are going to get these two things, right? So what we are saying is from here we are going to until this place, which is essentially these two things, and then we are going to equate it from this part to this, and like we are going to reverse this part and equate these two. Okay, so that's what we are going to do here. It is nothing but string underscore x size divided by 2 and minus 1. Yeah, and we also discussed one more case, right? Like initially if the number is less than 0, then we are going to return false, otherwise we are going to return true, right? If x is less than 0, then return false. If x equals to 0, then return true, right? So this is our problem, simple and straightforward. So I'm just running on base test cases. Yep, they're all passing, and I'm just hitting submit. So yeah, there you go. Alright guys, if you like this video, please comment, share or like it, so that I get some motivation to make more such videos. Thank you. Bye.